because people who were crucified were not considered people, let alone citizens of the empire. The Romans did not allow the bodies to be buried or otherwise disposed of. Usually, they just left them on the cross as a warning and reminder. But Jesus was allowed to be taken down and laid to rest in a tomb. So who was Joseph that he was allowed to take Jesus' body and give it the dignified burial of a person, of a human being? Someone who cared, someone who believed, someone who was willing to risk his own to ensure dignity and humanity for Jesus in the face of the empire. The empty cross means dignity. It means standing up to the forces that seek to destroy life. The empty cross points to life and resurrection. I was having coffee. I was meeting with a man. I had helped he and his family come to Canada as refugees. We were meeting to talk about his hopes for work. He is still working on learning English. After we sat down, a woman sat down next to us. She looked familiar. She turned and said hello and asked how I was doing. I was trying to place her face. I didn't have a name. I assumed it was a church connection, but I didn't know. I couldn't remember. I said hello and introduced my friend, and said that the church had helped sponsor he and his family. Full of smiles and in his broken English, he said how happy he was to be here, and how thankful he was to Canada for letting him have a new life. The woman had a curious expression on her face, and then she said, "Yes, well, that's all wonderful, just so long as you don't blow us up." What? What the hell did you just say? I was floored, literally, speechless, stunned. I couldn't say anything. Most embarrassingly, I couldn't even jump to my friend's defense. He and I both looked at each other and chuckled uncomfortably and turned away from her. We kept talking. I know he understood. I can only imagine how he felt. Later, of course, I came up with all kinds of things I should have said. But none of that matters, because I didn't say anything. In that moment, my friend was robbed of his story, of his humanity, of his dignity. Except, thankfully, he didn't lose any of it. But she tried. Thankfully, he is surrounded by a number of people, like Joseph, who help him in those times when others would try to take away what he has. I wish I could be more like Joseph, especially in that case.